National Hurricane Center expects storm surge to reach up to 16 feet in some areas of the Big Bend region. That level of storm surge is life-threatening. Do not go outside in the midst of this storm. If it's calm where you are, it may be because you are in the eye of the storm, and those conditions will change very, very quickly. So wherever you are, hunker down and don't take anything for granted here. This is a very, very powerful storm. There will be impacts far beyond the eye wall, and those will extend to places like Tallahassee as well as places like Northeast Florida. We have already had 11 tornado warnings, and there are more tornadoes possible, even and especially in the very outer bands of the storm. So these are places that are way outside the cone that you see on the TV screen. So please keep in mind those are very, very dangerous situations. When the storm passes, do not drive in flooded streets and assume that all down power lines are still hot and live. And there's going to be people working to remedy that, and we've got a lot of people staged, but that is very hazardous in the immediate aftermath of the storm. We currently have 54,000 households that are out of power throughout the state of Florida, but there have been over 100,000 households that have already been restored through hard work all through the night, and those restoration efforts are ongoing. Any place it's safe to do, people are there working to get that done. As soon as it's safe to do so, when the winds die down to a sufficient level, search and rescue efforts will begin. We have 8 urban search and rescue teams staged, ready to go, 33 ambulance strike teams, 5,500 National Guardsmen. We also have the Coast Guard on standby should that be necessary. There will be an immediate effort to restore power to people who lose power. There's 30,000 plus linemen stationed and ready to go to commence restoration efforts. For local municipalities and electric co-ops, please accept mutual aid. These are folks that can come supplement your efforts. And again, the goal is just to get everybody back online as quickly as possible. There will be a lot of debris from this storm. There's going to be a need to have all hands on deck to be able to do. And accordingly, our Florida Department of Transportation, we have 650 pieces of heavy equipment and trucks staged for cut and toss operations post-storm. We anticipate there to be a lot of debris, a lot of downed trees, a lot of downed power lines, and there's going to be a need for this. We also have 1,100 generators staged for traffic signal restoration. We anticipate that that's going to be a problem in a number of communities as well. Fuel, we have 1.2 million gallons staged. We're also arranging more fuel to come in by truck just to make up for whatever may not be coming in through the normal course of business with things like the Port of Tampa being closed. And so there's a lot of fuel that has been arranged to be here, and our goal is to not have any major fuel interruptions. In terms of communications, there's 500 plus Starlink internets ready for deployment to places that need to be. There's already been almost 250 that have been deployed. So as affected areas need that connectivity, Florida Division of Emergency Management is going to work to provide that. They also have 3,000 generators staged and ready to surge for areas that need some power. Now, if you're using a generator in your personal home, please do not run that generator inside your home. Do not run it inside your garage. It must be run outside your house. It needs to be at least 20 feet away from doors and windows, and you have to point the exhaust away from your home. We do not want to see any fatalities as a result of misuse of generators. So there's a lot of people that are on deck right now. There's going to be a lot of efforts as this storm passes, but this thing is hitting really within the next hour and a half, most likely. It's going to make landfall. It is a major hurricane, as we've been saying it was likely to be for the last couple days, and we just hope everybody stays safe. Don't put your life at risk by doing anything dumb at this point. This thing's powerful. If you're inside, just hunker down until it gets past you. You don't want to be messing around with these winds. There's going to be things flying all over the place. Obviously, if you're in a place that's close to the coast and you see that surge, that's going to be legitimate surge. It's going to be a big, big deal, and it's going to be very, very dangerous. And there we go with our power here. We're back. So I'm going to have Kevin Guthrie come up. We'll also hear from Major General Haas, Admiral Schofield, and then one of our Leon County Commissioners, Christian Caban, will be here. So Kevin.
Right on time, 5-second delay, and kick those generators in. So thank God that's working. As the governor said, the storm is here. It is here now. It is just off the coast of the Big Bend, looking like Keaton Beach is going to be the location in which we have landfall. Stay off the roads. If you're sheltering in place at home, stay inside your home. If you're at a shelter or hotel, please do not leave at this time. Conditions are deteriorating outside in the impacted areas. Shelter, again, as we've said, shelter in place as safely as you can where you can. We are seeing 2 to 3 foot of storm surge in the Tampa Bay area. We're seeing about 4 foot of storm surge right now at Cedar Key. Because of this high tide, because of the high tide which is coming, the tide is starting to come back in throughout the all the way from Tampa Bay all the way up through Apalachicola Bay. Storm surge will dramatically increase over the next couple of hours. We are seeing a lot of tornado warnings. So far there have been 11, as the governor has said. Of the 4 or 5 that have happened since about 3 a.m. this morning, at least 3 of those by our meteorologists have indicated radar-indicated tornadoes. In other words, they have seen debris in those rotations, but that will all be confirmed by the National Weather Service local forecasting offices throughout the day. We will obviously see more tornadic activity as the day goes along. If you are in a tornado warning in your area, get to an interior room free from windows. Consider putting mattresses and things over your head, even to include helmets. We can replace a lot of limbs, but we cannot replace your head, obviously. So please protect your head, cover your head at all costs. There will be also life-threatening winds in the Big Bend today. We could see gusts over 100 miles an hour. We could see sustained winds well over 130 miles an hour as we have this Cat 4 landfall. All of these are life-threatening conditions, so please do everything you can to stay safe where you are, because first responders may not be able to reach you during the storm. You need to be prepared to take care of yourself and your family while you're sheltering in place. Ambulances, search and rescue teams, other first responders will get to you just as fast as we possibly can once the winds die down to a point where we can respond to you. We do not want you putting first responders at risk unnecessarily. In Southwest Florida, as the governor has already mentioned, we've already restored over 100,000 accounts with power. I want to thank the men and women of our utilities, both or all 3 independent-owned utilities, municipal electric associations, and cooperatives. Really appreciate the hard work that they've been doing, even here in Tallahassee. As I was coming back to the EOC in the early wee morning hours, Tallahassee Electric was out restoring power here in the capital region. So, again, very much appreciate what they're doing. We will continue to respond as we can. As I said, we've already started responding to issues in Southwest Florida. I talked to Representative Adam Botana from Fort Myers Beach this morning at about 3 a.m., and he has said it's very Irma-like conditions, not a lot of storm surge, not a lot of damage, but certainly not Ian. But he said it's very reminiscent of what they experienced in Hurricane Irma, so we're happy to hear that. And I appreciate him giving me a call and giving me a ground truth. We are here. We are ready. We will deploy our response and recovery teams just as quickly as we possibly can. You know, we like to move very quickly here at the division. We are ready to provide the needed support to our Big Bend communities, as well as communities with standing impacts from the other bands of the storm. Under the governor's leadership, we have certainly amassed a great team here at the division, and with state agency heads that have moved bureaucracy and red tape to get things done to where we're restoring 100,000 accounts in less than 8 hours. So please rest assured, we will do whatever it takes to help our communities recover from Idalia. I got General Haas, or we have General Haas here this morning. Again, John, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you and your team. Admiral Schofield the same way. I appreciate everything you guys are doing. They have helicopters ready to go. As soon as they're going to be able to get back into this area, they are going to be flying. They're going to be in the area. So, again, thank you for both of you being here. Governor.
Go ahead.
Good morning, and Governor, thank you again for your leadership and your continued support of your Florida National Guard. Director Guthrie, thank you again for your tremendous work and the work of your team to protect our Florida citizens. Our thoughts and prayers go out to those in the affected areas of the storm that are being affected already. As I mentioned yesterday, the Florida National Guard is fully mobilized with over 5,500 soldiers and airmen ready to support hurricane response efforts. We expect that throughout the day we will be actively engaged in a multitude of missions, including search and rescue, damage assessment, and route clearance. In addition, we continue to man the State Logistics Response Center and many other logistic and staging areas throughout the state of Florida, as well as support the 26 county emergency management operations centers with liaison specialists.